guys, I wanted to show today this new feature from Brisk Teaching that allows you to create a student experience with AI, and for AI to act more as a one-on-one tutor with your students, and it is pretty awesome. I'll show just some quick snapshots of the different ways you can use this in your classroom. I'm going to be working off of this document here, which is a science lab. But you could go off of a slideshow, you could go off of a website, you could go off of PDF, you could go off of anything really that you'd want to base your experience off of. It would work the same. So you go ahead and come to the top. I got this open, and then I got Brisk Teaching. I'm going to open it up. It's going to give us an ad today. Okay. And here, it may not always be here because this is a new feature. So right now it's been showing up a lot, but sometimes I don't see it, sometimes I do see it. But if you click on create, you can find it in here. I think, oh no, you can't find it in here. I guess it will live here. I know that this little backpack is always there. And maybe they're gonna have this button live here forever. But all right, so we're gonna click on boost student activity. So take you to this screen, and this is a separate site, kind of. It functions a little differently. Whenever we do, just for reference, whenever we do, let's say we're going to do a rubric from this, all of this happens in this screen on the same page. When you do the boost student activity, it is going to go to a separate window. And it's because it takes a little bit more space to do this, and I think you'll see what I mean as we go through it. So first, you could have AI act as a tutor for your students. So it will, based off of that document I had open, it will be available for students to ask questions to and ask for help, or like, I don't understand what this means, I don't understand what this question means, and AI will work back and forth with the student to help them with that. A hook, and I want to open this one because, so tutor's pretty self-explanatory, but the hook was not what I expected. So if you click on hook, or if you click on any of these and you go to the next page, it's going to show these two windows side by side. So first on the left, we have student objectives. These are the things you want the students to be able to do by the end of the experience with AI. So define photosynthesis, explain the role of light, predict the effect of light on oxygen production. You can also add learning objectives in here. And then over here on the right is all of the things that, that's how AI is going to be functioning in this activity. This is the role of AI. So create an engaging 3 to 5 minute lesson hook about photosynthesis. Start by asking students what they already know about how plants make food. Then present a surprising fact, such as, did you know that a large tree can produce enough oxygen in a year to keep a family of 4 breathing for a year? Follow up with a quick demonstration. Place a leaf on a clear glass. Yada, yada, yada. So this feature, I'm going to the next preview, is going to hopefully get your students engaged and excited about the lesson. It's not going to just produce a hook to use. It's more so like an interactive curiosity feature, you could say. When you go to the next page, it's going to let you have this little gray window. So this is like, you can pretend that you are the student. With this function, you do have to create a classroom in Brisk Teaching to be able to give these assignments to your students. So when you do that, this is what it'll look like. And it'll guide you through that as you go through share with students. It'll tell you, make a classroom, add your students. And I believe it syncs up with Google Classroom, but maybe we'll just practice that in a second and we'll see. This right here, this is what it'll look like to the students when they open up the assignment you've given them. So on the left, they'll have the document that you originally showed AI, the worksheet, the slides, whatever. And then, on the right, where it says hook, chat is visible to your teacher, let's go. Students will click let's go, and Brisk Boost will start talking to your student. So it says, I'm excited to explore. What can you already tell me about how plants make their food? I'm just going to put a few things in so we can kind of see what this would look like. I know that plants use sunlight to create their food. We'll send that in. That's a great start. You're absolutely right. Do you know what other ingredients plants need besides sunlight for this process? Anyways, it's going to go back and forth chatting with your students. Now, at the top here, it says chat is visible to your teacher. From the teacher side of this, at the end of this interaction, you can see the entirety of the student chat with AI. I don't know how useful it is for grading. We were talking as a PLC in my group of teachers, and honestly, I don't know if I would, for at least every assignment or even most assignments, would I be going through this chat and grading this chat. I think it could be a little bit more practical to maybe be walking around in the room and grade chats during the lesson rather than having to go to the page, open up this chat, read through all of it, go to the next person, read through all their chat. Personally, I don't know if that's the most time-conscious grading style. But number one, do whatever you want. And number two, the nice thing about this is you can have this as a backup for our students being appropriate, on task, all the things that we want to make sure students are doing at school. This will keep a memory of this, and so you do have evidence if anyone was doing something they shouldn't be doing, if they were off task or whatever. You do kind of have a paper trail you could follow here. That's how I see this being helpful, to be able to see that entire chat for every student. But do with it what you will. It also has this little bar of learning objectives and which ones you have finished as the student. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and click share with students. Let's see how easy this is to share with students. It asked me to do this. I'm going to say add, and then student access. Yep, file settings, students can view file. Share. Okay, so this is how it's going to work once you want to share these kinds of activities with your students. You will have this website. You'll have all your students go there, and then they'll type in this code just like they do for Google Classroom, and then, or you can also copy this link, and then you can email it to your students, and then they can join in. So that is one option of the Boost activity from students. Let me also show you the other features that are available. So there is a character chat. That would be great, especially in English. You can chat with famous characters from historical books or classic books. Most books I would assume would be in here that are commonly known, or at least have some kind of presence on the internet. You also can have them chat with historical figures, so history people. This would be so fun. You can have them debate with AI and have to build a strong argument to be able to argue with AI and the points it brings up. You can have them do an inquiry activity where they have to go explore concepts and test hypotheses. AI will send it out to go research things and bring it back to them. Bring it back to the AI and tell it what it learned, and then AI will kind of pose different, interesting, possible viewpoints, questions. It'll be like a exploratory activity. Then we have, then we have the brainstorm. This is a brainstorm feature that will work with your students to brainstorm ideas for a project, essay, whatever that may be. And there's also real world math, so it will be solving math problems that apply to real world situations. That's just in the engage section. There's also the assess section. So you have your pulse check to check for understanding. You have exit tickets. There's a writing feature. Coming soon. And a reflection coming soon. So these are going to be updated. When these come out, I will make another video. Let's go through one assessment feature. I'm curious about this pulse check. If we open it up, once again, it shows us our learning objectives, which are pretty similar to the ones they were before. So AI's role in this is going to be an interactive quiz assistant. Ask students questions about the lab procedures. Cool. Let's see what this looks like for a student. Okay, so it's gonna kind of give a quiz, but in the form of a chat. So that's what it looks like. Let's see if it asked if I can tell what role light plays in photosynthesis. Um, and I said I can't. Can you tell me? And then it responds with instead of telling you directly, let's think about it together. Remember, plants need energy to grow, right? What's a big source of energy that plants use every day? It's something we can see and feel. So this is not going to just give the answers to your students as far as I can see so far. Of course, maybe if you had a very amazingly techie student, maybe they could write some kind of a code to overwrite this, but I doubt. It is made to work with students. I hope this is something you guys can use in your classroom. I'm really excited for it. It's a great way to have like a one-on-one experience with your students without you having to be the one-on-one person. And again, there's so many different features. Please try them if they sound like they would be helpful for you. As with any resource I share for AI, I don't ever want you to use them if they overwhelm you. If you're like, that's going to add so much more to my day. The purpose of AI would not be to overwhelm you. The purpose of AI instead is, how can we make your life easier? How can we save you time? How can we put your effective, amazing resources and skills as a teacher into the most important places, right? Maybe the most important place for that unit is not for you to be sitting with every single student and having a personalized walk through this little lab about photosynthesis, but maybe it'd be better for you to put together all of your efforts into a real hands-on lab for photosynthesis, but you need the time to be able to do that. And hopefully AI can help you do that. As always, please reach out if you have any questions, and I hope that this helps your classroom.